Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Right, let's talk to the Maradren. Captain, our scanners indicate the greatest Discorian concentration is on the Mareden border. Makes some sense. She's shown herself to be a wily queen, and they're undoubtedly familiar with her exploits. So are the Discorians slaughtering the Maradens, or is it the other way round? The Maradens are more than holding their own, but they've unleashed a few forces that even I'm not familiar with. What does it say when even the robots believe Queen Shilla is the greatest threat? Interesting, but it makes little sense. What threat do the Maradens pose? Yes, they're powerful. They're no more than the Apex Rand. Their Scourer warriors definitely even the odds in sheer power and numbers. Yes, but given the time the Discorians can match any species on numbers alone, and a biological species has more to worry about from the Maradren than a robotic one. Plague tends to put a crimp in one's style. Actually, I think Mario's right. What if this isn't so much the Maradens, but Shilla herself the Discorians want? But what does she have to offer them, unless they're interested in some kind of reverse cyborging? Thanks, Saviour, that's an image I could have done without. Just be grateful they didn't dig up some bodies and attach servos to them. Robo-zombies? Somehow I doubt the Discorians are interested in experiencing the human condition. You guys are forgetting one thing. Xavier. Shilla was mentally tied to Mira. What one knew, the other did. Oh, I'm sorry about what happened. Don't assume blame when you aren't responsible. Don't overlook the fact Mira is a robotics genius, which would make Shilla one as well. So they're trying to keep a plague from befalling them, but an electronic one? At least my virus protection would be able to handle whatever the Maradens could create. Is it my fault certain art sites are often compromised? You're thinking too small. Shilla controlled Lucius. Imagine what would happen if she had the whole Discorian host. She would be unstoppable. But is that even possible? Any system can be compromised if you're given enough of a chance. I'm surprised you haven't tried that yourself, Mira. What is it with you people and domination? Look, I haven't done anything practical in that direction. But you've given it some thought, haven't you? I'm a bit surprised you stopped at that. You didn't taste Shilla's thoughts when the colony's machines revolted. It was sheer terror. Never before did one of her plans go so badly. And you learned some caution. But wonders never cease. Don't forget, just on pure numbers, the Maradens probably have the most psionics. I can't even get close to their territory without wanting to curl up and die. Of course, the Discorians are focused on the Maradens. That leaves us with one question. What do? I say we help her. Look, I know she caused her share of problems, but they pale in comparison to the Discorians. I'm with Charlotte on this one. Hell, the Discorians see us all as a threat. She's been the largest pain in the ass. I say let's emulate the Discorians in this regard. I agree. Even when we beat the Discorians, Shilla's going to keep pestering us. I don't know if we could stop her if she wanted to. Captain, we should help them. Each Maradren that dies, it isn't as bad as the Paladrain Holocaust, but I can feel their pain, hear their screams. What do you think, Mira? If anything, your voice should hold more weight. I don't think Shilla deserves to die. And there is no lingering touch? If there is, it's memory only, no Maradren touch. I don't mind helping the Maradens, but it should be on our terms, not theirs. So, what could you do that would get some hold on the Maradens? Hostages. Kidnapping a Maradren? That'd work, but you'd have to get the right one. Nothing so coarse, you have to think more dynastically. So let me get this straight. We help Queen Shilla, but she has to give us a hostage. Fine, but I'm not babysitting. In the simplest terms, yes. I would prefer the term fosterage more. Bullshit. Pardon? Fancy it up however you want, but you're a prisoner. I know, I was a guest of your mother's court for 2 years. What save you talking about? Oh, after the last failed rebellion by the nobles, the Nouvelles took in several creative steps to prevent that from happening. At some point, every child will spend a certain number of years at the Queen's court. Well cared for, but if their parents step out of line, there's no way the Queen would kill a child. My personal experience would tell you otherwise. After all, you only have to look at my brother Pietro. I remember them saying he got drunk and took a wrong turn into a canal. Yep, that's the story they tell. I know for a fact Pietro doesn't drink. I remember that. They said your father was selling arms to some rebels, and when he didn't stop, the lesson was made. If anything, that would make me more rebellious. Except for one thing, they still have my sister. So yeah, father suddenly stopped his nonsense. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Whatever. You are certainly following in your mother's footsteps. This could work. Schiller has any number of princesses leading her people on other planets, so she probably has one on this planet as well. A hostage situation. Excuse me, fosterage. I don't know, what do you think, Diana? Let's be honest, it's a... Yo, that is a pretty crappy thing to do. So I'm gonna ally with the Madarins, goddammit. I'm gonna forge the greatest alliance this planet has ever seen. Admittedly, by allying with one race, I've already done that, but, you know. As aggravating as she is, she reminds me of my brother, always the trickster. Well, we should at least make the best of the situation. I wonder if she'll tell me where she gets her armbands. I know, I need to find out where she gets her necklaces from. Mission 27. We're probably going to have 30 missions then. 4 tracking around the various places and teaming up with people. And then one last big kerfuffle. Will you look at that? Impressive, isn't it? So what? You've seen one giant mushroom, you've seen them all. And here I thought you'd be up for a power-up. I know, if this isn't made out of stone and metal, it isn't worth your time. Surely I'm not imagining things, but the buildings are alive, aren't they? I can feel a presence there. You would be absolutely correct. Living cities with all the amenities you could expect. Maybe we can get you to guide us into less chaotic times. Not here, but I visited my share when I was an undergrad. I wonder how they kept it fed. I don't know if there's enough compost which could feed this city. One thing I recall from Schiller is that the bathrooms as we know it don't exist. Wait, people just go out in the street? Hardly. First, no Madarin would be so gauche. Second, they do have rooms set aside, but they have a waste not, want not attitude. And it would make disposal of the dead rather easy, wouldn't it? Samuel, do you have any spare sample bags? I'd love to examine them when we get back to the colony. I wouldn't recommend doing that, Charlotte. Why? Are the walls psychedelic to the touch? Actually, they can be if you're a human. To this day, I associate the taste of blueberries with the colour yellow. Not to mention, the buildings can release spores if under attack, and breathing them in would be a death sentence. Another remembrance? Yes, Apex Iran slavers managed to get this far, but the city brought them low. The spores released... Well, let's just say the Apex Iran didn't know freedom that day. This will do little good against the Discorians, not unless they have plants which can shoot acid. Then you don't want to run into Fargul, chubby little plants with a bad attitude. So which way should we go? If we get lost, let's meet up at the giant mushroom? Seriously, which way should we go? Queen Schiller is this way, and before anyone asks, the headache she gives is unmistakable. Well, greetings, Captain. If I'd known you were coming, I'd have rolled out the red carpet. Knowing you, I'm sure it would have been quite impressive. Coloured in the blood of your enemies, perhaps? I'm sure your little mechanical man told you about the Discorians. I'm proud to say they were no match for my warriors. Shame, really, I could have done with more sport. Your arrogance will doom you. This was but a quarter of the strength they could have used. I detect you are telling the truth. A quarter of their strength. And you came to help little old me? Oh, that's rather sweet. That's my purpose, Your Majesty. Several battalions worth have been defeated, but there will always be more to replace them. Oh, I guess I can forgive your forthrightness this time, Captain. However, detect not all of your soldiers are in agreement. No, I'm not. But if you think I will betray my captain, then... Oh, please, I know you're loyal. You don't have the imagination to be anything else. And you, dear, how are your headaches? I actually have something that could help. Whatever you're selling, I'm not buying. I promise it will work. And I'd probably find my psionics muted, even gone. No, thank you. Oh, be careful, my dear. Unnecessary paranoia has a habit of causing wrinkles. So, Captain, I will reaffirm my commitment to the Alliance once more. Keep flinging insults and I might change my mind, Your Majesty. Captain, I detect large numbers coming this way, and they don't conform to any biological signature. What? They're attacking from the opposite side, too. I told you not to underestimate them. Very well, I will lend you some of my warriors to aid in this fight. My presence is required to hold them off on the other side. Okay, we actually get all 30 cards in this one, so get the sharpshooters back in, get the regular infantry back in, get my marksman squads back in, get my machine gunner back in, get my volunteers back in, and... what's that do? Getting 3 resources at the same time. I might put a snipe card in. Or For a riot card. Register card. No, I'm going to put the spy in just for the sake of rounding out the deck nicely. Get me a laser turret up, and I'm going to try and save up for the assault hovercraft. Okay, you hit there. You hit there. You hit there. Stun's annoying, but at least those guys get their shield back. Deploy some assault infantry. Take out that bloody wall. Thank you. The fact that that heals things is very nifty. Okay, target there. Kill that one, please. Okay, deploy the assault hovercraft, which at least does really pretty solid damage. They get their shields back, but he doesn't. Okay. I think does really good damage. Admittedly, it's got no space to actually deploy anything at the moment, but that's alright. Deploy some regular infantry. Alright, everyone with a shot, take it. And of course, put another bloody wall up. Alright, assault hovercraft.
Reporting for duty.
Which does at least do serious damage. Everybody else, attack, attack. Attack. Oh boy. Smashes walls good, that one. Get a missile turret in.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage, but that's okay, because just about take it. So just about one more thing and it goes down, but they're going to kill him this turn, which is good. That was more problematic than I expected. Thank you for your help, Captain. You and your soldiers. Just doing my job. Don't try my patience with your humility. As for your soldiers, well, they are welcome to visit any time they wish. No thank you. I have a feeling staying longer will cause hay fever. And I have enough of your memories to last a lifetime. Literally. As you wish, but the offer still stands. Perhaps Alicia could come after the war's over? I'd love that. I think you and her would love the garden. It's amazing how much I don't trust her. Okay, I've got enough time for a sort of couple of minutes dealing with the Matrix. I've decided to approach the Matrix. Are there any suggestions on how to make the best impression? Jackhammer and dynamite, Captain. Annihilation isn't our goal, Xavier. Who said anything about violence? I don't think the Captain's looking to give King Ignis a makeover. Although that'd make for an interesting chapter in the Diplomatic Corps Handbook. You know, Xavier might be onto something. I mean, maybe the King's suffering from a lot of sexual tension. And just how could you tell? He's a lumbering rock after all. He's already hard. Lola, are you thinking what I'm thinking? No, I'm not going to record matric porn. Besides, who exactly would you market it to? Spelunkers, for one. Mario, watch your language. There are innocent robots around. It is quite alright, Galena. A spelunker is simply a person who explores caverns. Ah, someone who likes to get down and dirty. What did you have in mind, Charlotte? Alicia has a rock tumbler she no longer uses. Simply requires an energy cell. Perhaps that could help? That would be an interesting experiment to run. After all, matric ejaculate does resemble a layer of dust. And that is one experiment I refuse to run. I have a hard enough time keeping my lab space clean. Look, great suggestions, one and all, especially if we want to make the matric... if we want to make me one with the Earth. Captain, is it wise to help the Matrix? It's just one course of action, Mario. I know, but let's be honest. Even during the peace accords, King Ignis was fairly clear there could never be a lasting peace between his people and us. Hell, he'd prefer us to see us buried and forgotten. I still can't understand that. Hatred for anything which lives on the surface? Fanaticism can take many forms, Charlotte. When it starts appearing rational, then you know things are bad. Well, they're absolutely right there, but we'll deal with that in the next part. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next part.